Hey everyone, Ariel Adams with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. Don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of our upcoming videos. This is a review of the Timex Giorgio Galli S1 Automatic. This is a watch that aBlogtoWatch debuted and reviewed when it first came out, and now we're finally doing a video review of this very special timepiece which has captured the hearts of many people in the watch aficionado community. Giorgio Galli is essentially the head of design at Timex, and he's based at their facility in Milan, which makes a lot of sense because Timex, in addition to all the Timex branded watches, does some licensing work for various types of fashion companies, including Italian ones like Ferragamo and Versace. And so it makes a lot of sense that they have a design facility right there in Milan to satisfy the needs of these important houses of fashion. But Mr. Galli is also a fantastic watch designer, and he knows good watch design so well. This is the first one to actually have his name on it. And the name is on the back of the watch, and the model, of course, is the Giorgio Galli S1 Automatic. And what he wanted to do was push the limits when it comes to what you could offer from a manufacturing perspective at this price point. And just sort of looking at the watch right here, you can see some things that are a little bit different. You see this strap, which has this hole right here, and you're like, what's that? And you turn on the side, and there's a small indentation in the strap. The case itself, it's a 41 millimeter wide steel case, but the case is formed using a sophisticated sort of injection mold technology. And so you have these skeletonized sections, and you have a structure which is more along the lines of what you'd see in a complicated CNC cut steel case, but in a case which has a different manufacturing method, which is ultimately less expensive, which allows the watch to have a much more accessible price point. But the detailing is truly fantastic. And then on the dial itself, you have here these lovely applied hour markers. You have these skeletonized hands, which work really nicely. And just above 6 o'clock is a small synthetic ruby, which is there to remind people that this has a mechanical movement that has jewels in it, and rubies, synthetic rubies are the jewels that they speak of when they talk about the jewels in a mechanical movement. I actually like to take credit for this small design element here because I was sitting with Mr. Galli prior to when this watch came out, when it was still in the design phase, and I recommended this little element, and it made it to the final design, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I like to point that out because I look at it and I'm reminded of the contribution I had. The watch is 11 millimeters thick, about water resistant to 50 meters. And through the rear of the watch, you can see the movement, which looks really, really lovely. It fits with the design so well. It has a nice dark colored skeletonized automatic rotor. And this is a Citizen Miyota 9039 automatic movement. That's a well-made Japanese movement. It's 4 hertz and it runs for 42 hours. So that's a nice performing movement. Again, not something which you would typically find at a price point like this. So let's put the watch on. The strap is it's not by no means exactly like the Apple Watch, but if you've worn the Apple Watch, you kind of get the idea. It takes another little extra second to put on there. You got to tuck it through there. And then there's a little tab right here, and that gets pushed through that opening so that you don't have a piece of strap that's just sort of flying around. It's just sort of this nice, neat, integrated look. And Giorgio Galli did really a fantastic job with the comfort and having a strap that looks great. I mean, I have small wrists, so I am very familiar with having excess strap just open, flying around, stuff like that. This one tucks in really neatly. It has a nice cohesive look to it. I just think that he did a fantastic job. And again, the S1 watch is extremely comfortable. Legible, of course it is. I mean, for a dress watch, silver dial with these almost black colored applied hour markers and hands. I mean, no, there isn't any lume, but this is about as legible as you could go with using just sort of natural materials and light. So I think that the fan attention and the positive sentiment that the Giorgio Galli S1 Automatic received has been more than merited. I've had a lot of questions about this watch over the years since we initially debuted it, and it's very exciting that Timex is making more of these watches. These have been very difficult to get. They were out of stock, very difficult to actually manufacture. So if you can get your hands on one of these, they're very, very special. Price for the Timex Giorgio Galli S1 automatic watch is $450, and they're available, of course, on Timex's website. So these are one of the coolest Timex watches around right now, especially if you're a watch aficionado. And you can see more about the Timex Giorgio Galli S1 automatic on aBlogtoWatch. Thanks.